This is a 2010 Maserati Quattroporte, which is what roughly translates to a four-door Ferrari. I should be telling you really important facts and figures and things about dimension and rear foot space and boot space and all these sorts of things, but honestly they mean nothing, absolutely nothing. All that matters is this steering wheel, that engine and this gearbox. And what a combination. Because you can send it into a corner, load up the wheels, push down. What a thing to drive. Brake into second. I'm sorry, I should be talking more, but it's just so much fun to drive. I didn't think I would like this car as much as I do. The ability to go down a B road in something this big and something this heavy and have this amount of control and noise and spectacle, and then knock it back into drive and it's just any other executive saloon. Just listen to that. The way this car is set up suspension wise is really surprising. We've been going over some really quite rutted roads. It's your standard B road, so it's got potholes, it's lumpy, it needs basically a bit of love, and this car has really been dealing with it incredibly well. I've not felt a bump that was jarring. Yeah, you can certainly feel the bumps, but they are more just communication rather than anything else. It doesn't really feel like it's diminishing the ride. It's comfortable and quiet and also hellaciously noisy and ridiculously fast when you need it to be. Sadly, we've now encountered traffic on this back road, but that allows me to talk about the interior, which I've not talked about so far. The seats they're comfortable to sit in, and I think for a long journey they're perfect, but as soon as you start hustling, the lack of really side bolstering, even though there are side bolsters here, they're just not, I don't know if it's not deep enough, but you're not really held in the corners. Oh yes, there's something about this car. Acres of soft touch plastic, leather lined, well, I don't know if that's leather actually. I'm not too sure what that material, it looks like leather, leatherette. I'm not sure it's the real deal, which is a surprise considering this car would have cost somewhere close to £100,000 when it was new. The options packs are strange on this one. It has a carbon fiber steering wheel, but no heated seats, which I think is unusual for a executive transport. You would think that you would have some form of heated seats because it gets cold in the winter. And yes, okay, this is an Italian car and maybe the winters aren't as bad there, but this is right-hand drive, UK specified car. Why wouldn't you specify heated seats? Even on the Cayenne, when it is working, that has amazing heated seats, and it also has a heated steering wheel, which this doesn't have, but the gearbox on this is so much better than the Cayenne. The Triptronic S in sort of the 2006 era Porsches, it's just not a very good gearbox. This 8-speed ZF gearbox is an absolute peach. 13 years old? No, 14 years old. You get much more trick gearboxes these days. This is just your standard torque converter, but the shifts are quick, it holds the gears well, and then it gets out of your way when you don't need to think about it. So you whack it back into drive, and off you go. Acres of room in the back. The boot is okay for the size. It's not huge. I think it's like something like 400 litres. I don't think you can flap the rear seats forward either. It's fine. I mean, you're not going to be using this for the tip run anyway. I think a little bit more boot space would be useful. But again, cars are about compromise, and so you can either have loads of boot space or a decent amount of leg space in the rear. And I think on average, you'd probably enjoy more leg space in the rear, particularly with executives that you transport, or in my case, a young family. It's nice to give them a little bit more room in the back. This is the first time I've driven something with a Ferrari V8. days. This car is ridiculous. A car this big in this segment should not handle as well as this car does. I really like this car. I really like this car. It brings a smile to my face. Now, what are the potential foibles with Maseratis? There are better videos which I'll link to. Jayemm's done loads, and there's some other creators as well that have done deep dives into the reliability and maintenance problems or issues for Maseratis. I'll summarize it like this: rust, electricals, that's about it. Rust proofing wasn't really a thing apparently from factory. I don't know why, but you need to make sure this car, you know, if you're looking at a Quattroporte, to be honest, any Maserati really, you make sure you can get underneath and look at all areas of the car to make sure that it's in good shape, because these cars can rust in all sorts of really inconvenient locations like the front and rear subframe, and that can be a real job to change. Right, I need to go put some fuel in this car because apparently I've been having too much fun. And as it's not my car, I want to make sure that I'm returning it with fuel in, because, you know, the guy who owns it has been generous enough to me to let me have the car, so I might as well go put some BP Ultimate in. But we've whacked the car back into automatic mode, turn off sport mode, and we're just back into comfortable executive saloon territory. And as far as I'm aware, this car doesn't have trick air suspension or active dampeners or anything like that. This has coil springs. Now, mod cons wise, we've talked about the double glazing. This one does have a Apple CarPlay retrofit, although the screen is resistive, so it's not as fast or as quick to respond as, say, a modern system, but it is nice to have the option of Apple CarPlay. It's got parking sensors, it's got a reversing camera that's pretty poor, to be honest. But you can just imagine, you know, you're an important Italian businessman, you could be driven, but you want to drive yourself. What else would you choose but a Quattroporte? There's no four-door Ferraris, or they certainly weren't in 2010. And the latest Pure Sangue, Pure Sandwich, whatever they've called it, you know, that's an SUV. I don't know why this car wasn't more popular. Maybe people were scared of the reputation? Why would you get a 7 Series or an S Class when you could have this? The room in the back is ample, so if you were transporting people for, you know, airport transfers and all that sort of stuff, I'm sure this would be an absolutely fine choice. Why would you choose a 7 Series? Now, what is percolating through my brain like a fine Italian coffee is the Cayenne is going to be back with us by the time this video goes out. And what do I do with it? Do I keep it? Or do I sell it and buy something like this? Because the car should be in really good shape, and it's had obviously a lot of expensive work done to it, which I think would make it attractive to a new buyer. And maybe I can move it on and get something that's a little bit more special. The Cayenne, in spite of its many failings and how it's let me down so much, I still like it. I think it's a great car. I think it's a very capable car. When you like a car, you know, because you kind of get a little wee smile, and you know that's the start of something good. A little flutter, anticipation. And I didn't really get that with the Cayenne, mainly because I bought it from a petrol station in Birmingham, but this I certainly did, because it's got leather where you want it, carbon fiber where you want it, it's got the performance, it's got the space and the grace. It's almost like, and I know this comes up often, and this is, you know, Italy's Jaguar, and I think that's incorrect, because this is, I think, a step up from a Jaguar, certainly in servicing costs, but also in what it's trying to do and the way that it does it. Like, it just hangs on to the corners way more than a 2-ton executive saloon should do, because the nose just goes in far better than you think it would. And this has got a long nose. The steering is really well weighted, communicative, and this is an executive saloon. This is what's blowing my mind. And I was expecting a fast engine, maybe, good performance, but I wasn't expecting to feel as much as I do in this car. It's phenomenal. This actually might be a challenge to get 30 miles to the gallon out, because it's just so much fun to drive fast. So this was the Maserati Quattroporte GTS. An executive saloon has no right to drive as good as this one. The drivetrain, the engine, the comfort, this is a fabulous thing. If you do get a chance to drive one, I strongly recommend you do. And this is definitely on my to purchase list. I'm really excited about this car. If you watched this far, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you consider liking and subscribing. And with that, I'll catch you down the road.